everybody. I'm super excited to be here with you for this little forecast for the new moon in Virgo, which is taking place on Thursday, September 14th. I want to say it's exactly at 9:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are at about 21 degrees with a very high amount of minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and round that up to 22 degrees in the sign of Virgo, where the moon in the sun conjunct, and we create a brand new cycle, brand new lunar cycle, where we're closing out some big trials and tribulations, delays, and just challenges that a lot of us have been moving through collectively and in our personal lives over the past several months. So let's get into this and talk about it a little bit further. If you don't know me, my name is Yelena Crawford with Yelena Crawford Astrology, and thank you for being here. If you are new, please subscribe below, hit the subscribe button, tap the little bell to get notifications of when I post videos. And if you guys are returning, hi, welcome back. I missed you guys. And please make sure you guys to tap the like button. That's all I ask for creating this content. I feel like it's a good exchange of energy, giving you guys the details of these transits and lunations. And then all I ask is just help this channel get out into the algorithm so I can get this information out to more people. Tap that like button, tap subscribe if you haven't done so already, and leave me a comment. I really love to hear from you guys. Okay, let's jump right in. I want to try to make this quick for all of you, because with all this mutable energy that we have going on of transition, of change, it can be a little bit chaotic. I don't know about you, but I have been experiencing some high anxiety energy. There are so many things that really have been up in the air, so many details that I am unsure about in some of these changes that I'm trying to make in my life. And with this retrograde energy and just this energy and lunation that's about to take place in the sign of Virgo, it is making me a little heady, if you know what I mean. So just very much in my head. We must really first understand the sign of Virgo. So Virgo is really interesting. It's a very interesting dynamic. I would say it is the least grounded of the earth signs, which is okay because Virgos are extremely intelligent, and it's because it has that heady component to it, that it's very much in its head. It's very, and I'm not saying the other earth signs aren't. Earth typically tends to be very grounded, very stable, right? It is in the body. And yes, Virgo is very health oriented. So we might have a lot of health dynamics that are coming up right now. Maybe people are starting healthy routines. It's very like trying to find ways to take care of the body, to make yourself healthier, to perfect yourself, to make yourself better, is a very Virgoan thing. It's associated with healthcare industry, whether that be the holistic side or whether that be somebody that's a nurse in a hospital. So there could be a lot of dynamics pertaining to those types of themes and topics that are coming up for some people right now. It doesn't have to be. But yes, being very grounded in the body is earth. It has to do with very earthly things, very earthly careers and dynamics. I would say the most earthly thing is people's health and taking care of the body, right? Yes, so we all exist here on this planet. We got to make sure that our physical meat suit is taken care of so that we can be the best version of ourselves. And I think that that's a priority of people with a lot of Virgo energy. We don't have to have a lot of Virgo energy for that to be a priority for us right now, because a lot of stuff is going on with Virgo themes for all of us right now. So this could be coming up for you. You could be reassessing some of the habits and tendencies that you have. It could be anything from the food that you put in your body, and it could range to the different habits and patterns that you have that could be creating or wreaking havoc on your body, creating different ailments, dis-ease that you might be experiencing. So other than that, we do know that, yes, Virgo is earth, and it has the ability to really be in the body and be grounded and stable and practical and all of those things that come with being earthly. However, Virgo's ruled by the sign of Mercury, which makes it very different than the other earth signs, because Mercury rules the mind and our thought processes and our thinking, the way that we perceive information. It's very information based. It rules over communication. But Mercury is probably the most anxious of the planets, especially when mercurial things they come into contact with Uranus, because Uranus is instability, it's erratic. It literally rules over electricity and the nervous system and the way that our neurons fire and wire together in our body. And this new moon is making an exact trine to Uranus. So I think with Mercury being retrograde, it's literally stationing tomorrow, Friday the 15th. And a station means erratic energy in general. It's coming to a complete halt, a complete standstill. So we're kind of shifting dynamics internally, where we were much more introspective and we were reworking certain dynamics in our life internally, which I'm going to give you some dates to kind of look back and see what you might be reworking and what this could be in your life. However, I'm sure a lot of you are already aware of that. If not, I want to help you find it. But it's already unstable, erratic energy in general, where we're kind of like stopping and then starting again in a completely different direction. So with that said, when this is in trine to Uranus, yes, a trine is a really harmonious communication between two planets where energy is flowing. It makes everything more positive and optimistic. And usually the opportunities that are brought about by trines between planets are harmonious and great. It's positive. But I feel like because this retrograde is happening, and there's a lot of other planets retrograding. We've got Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, and if you want to consider Chiron is still retrograde as well, which is, it's not necessarily a planet, it's an asteroid, but still, with all things considered, we have a lot of energy that's just not moving, that is turned internal, where we are reassessing a lot of different things. It's like a big giant chessboard where there's a lot of pieces that are being moved around. And that might start with our internal gears kind of clicking into place. Like, okay, this was working, this wasn't working. This is the direction I feel like I need to go in now based off of this, and this. This is how I feel about this, which results in a different outcome over here. So as you can see, there's a lot of different pieces, a lot of different moving pieces that are trying to reconfigure themselves to put us on the correct next path. Okay? That's why retrograde periods can be really challenging and confusing, because the path forward may be unclear to us at this time, which is exactly what is kind of being expressed by what we're in right now. However, like I said, with that trine to Uranus and just this being Virgo energy in general, amongst the retrogrades and the balsamic moon phase that we're in right now, you might be feeling high anxiety. It just kind of comes with the territory of mutable energy. There's a lot moving and changing. It's literally the energy of transition. And when we don't know the details of everything, when Virgo doesn't know the details of everything, it likes to be in control. It can kind of get out of sorts. And then from there creates a disconnect from mind to body. Virgo is very much about the mind-body connection. It's necessary. I don't know why I'm doing all this. It's necessary for it to function adequately, for its mind to work properly. So just know that if you're experiencing this energy like myself right now, it's okay. You're exactly where you need to be. And you can try to surrender and release control right now, because you're not going to have every detail. I would say what you can do, because I'm the same way. I like to be in control of what's happening, especially when it's like career related for me specifically. I know everybody's different. I want to know like where my job, what job I'm in, and where my money's coming from, and how my life is stable in that regard, and that it's something I could be really proud of and working towards goals and being ambitious. And when all that's in flux and up in the air and things are changing and they're like big changes, like direction changes and pivots in that department, it can feel really unsettling. So if you're like me and you need some assistance with that in the next coming days and through the weekend, as this moon waxes to the first crescent moon, which is kind of when we start taking action on what is being seeded tomorrow, Thursday, during the new moon. And also while Mercury moves direct on Friday and starts to speed up and gain momentum, and we start to actually come out of this like tunnel that we're in and start to see the light and the possibility. In the meantime, I would try to do some Virgoan things. Maybe this would be a good time to like start planning maybe your dietary changes, or start doing research on like, okay, I'm going to start this diet, or I'm going to start eating like this. Getting recipes in order, planning, that kind of thing is really good to do right now. Resting is really good to do right now. We are in a balsamic moon. Go outside, get some sun, be in nature. After all, this is an earth sign, right? So connecting with the elements can help to settle the mind. It can help you to get in your body when you're physically going outside, putting your hand on a tree, feeling the tree. I do that when I'm on the walk with my dog. People think I'm probably crazy. I like to touch the tree, brings me back down to earth. Walking barefoot in the ground. Which we can't do down here in Florida because of fire ants, which sucks because I love doing that. I'm from Michigan and I'm just so used to being able to walk barefoot in the grass. But if you can do that, do it for me, please. Another thing too is just focusing on like tidying up your house and organizing your life. Go out, clean your car. Get ready for the newness that's coming into your life, that's trying to come in. Clear out space, get rid of clutter, get rid of things that you don't need. Not only will this help you because it's an energetic thing when we're like sloughing things off, which is also very dark moon related. The energy of the dark moon is all about things ending, dying, being sloughed off. We are shedding a layer. We are ending the previous lunar cycle, which is tied to that last Saturn full moon, which was very, very difficult. It was a dark time for a lot of people. It was a very depressing energy. And for a lot of people, it had to do with like health concerns, very depressive topics, and, could have had to do with addictions and stuff for some people, or like just really this reality check about where you're at in your life. But with this Virgo new moon, it's like, okay, but we're going to start putting practical details in order, and we're putting a logical, detail-oriented plan in place for how we can move forward in the best way possible and become the best version of ourselves and be, of service to other people, or be of service to ourselves, or help improve our health, or help to step into a different job role that might be more fulfilling for us in the long term. Wherever this is playing out for you, you will again have to assess that. So right now, doing some of those things, taking care of your house, hanging out with your pets, whatever it might be. Okay, so I just want to give you guys a couple details of dates and what to expect. Like I said, where we're at right now, this week has been really challenging because we are in a dark moon, and the moon was moving through Leo. It connected with Venus retrograde, which is now direct but it connected with the Venus planet. And it was bringing up a lot of those topics of relationship dynamics, self-worth, values, money topics. So whatever was going on Monday, I'm sure it brought something up. And then Tuesday, the moon in the morning moved through a square to Uranus. And like I said, we are very much in the dark moon. So it's a great time to just do nothing, to really rest and just surrender to kind of some of the energies that are trying to leave, and just kind of like navigating the confusion without trying to control everything is the best way to do this. Now, as we enter Wednesday and Thursday, like I said, this new moon is not until later Thursday evening, 9:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So all day Wednesday and all day Thursday, we might be, excited about what's to come, feeling the possibilities, because really this moon, it's making nice aspects. Like, it is a wide trine to Jupiter, but it's still there. And so there is connection with Jupiter from Venus and this new moon. So like the excitement, the hope, the inspiration is probably present. But it's frustrating and nerve-wracking because we don't know what's on the other end of all of it. And there could be a dynamic with things being close to Saturn here too, Mercury, where we're like, oh my gosh, but what if the fears could set in? Like, what if it doesn't work out? What if, I'm having hope for no reason? I don't know what it is, but there's like this weird energy of like ping-ponging back and forth between hope and like potential downfall or like waiting for the other shoe to drop in some way, shape, or form. So that's okay. Just be where you are right now. Try to just put your head to the ground, focus on the tasks that you have to get done, focus on going to work, focus on taking care of your house, focus on taking care of you and your body in whatever way that you can. It also might feel good to help some other people out. Virgo is a service-related energy. It's a very supportive energy. So if there's any way that you can support another person, that would be great too. Now, before things turn around and turn in another direction, we have the new moon, which will exact on Thursday evening. And so that's great. There may be something that comes up Thursday or Friday where we start to get an idea of what this new possibility could be. We might even already kind of know, but it might be like the next stage. So say, for instance, for me, I've been on like 3 weeks of job interviews for something, which I'm not ready to talk about yet. And I'm in like the final round. So I'm wondering if maybe tomorrow I will receive some sort of information, or Friday, on maybe an offer, or if I get the role. But what we need to understand as well is that we are not done completely with the retrograde. So if you do receive information, Venus or Mercury, which is the ruler of this lunation in Virgo, is stationing on Friday. So Venus or Mercury is moving very, very slow right now. We are still very much having our internal gears moving. There could still be like, you know, things are not moving as quickly as we would like them to. They're not as clear as we would like them to. We might be confused about the way forward and what decisions to make. And there are some things that still need to be in that reassessment phase, if you will. So Friday, Mercury stations direct. And it's going to take until September 19th to move 1 degree. So it'll be stationed at 8 degrees from Friday all the way to Tuesday. And then it finally moves 1 degree. And then it'll pick up speed pretty quickly. So it's like, yes, everything's moving slow as molasses, especially over the weekend. We might have some information. It's a really good time to just continue to think on it and slowly take steps forward towards actually creating some sort of momentum. But as we move through next week, we may have a little bit more of a hiccup as the sun, which was part of this lunation, carries forward, and it's going to hit that opposition to Neptune. I want to give you guys an exact date of when that's going to be, so you know the day and you can prepare for it. So Neptune is currently at 25 degrees, or 26. Next week it'll be at 25. No, it's at 26. Okay. So yes, it's going to be September 19th. So it is actually the day that Mercury hits that next degree. So Mercury begins to move back through its post shadow. And then the day it hits that 9th degree, we have the sun opposing Neptune. So we could be feeling drained, lethargic. Maybe we've just been through so much. We're like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I'm literally exhausted from like all this mental exertion and everything that I've been going through, or maybe feeling like let down in some way, or we could maybe have put something up on a pedestal and then realize that it's not what it seems. We could have unclear information coming from a boss, or something could just be a little bit more confusing. It's a passing energy, you guys. It's just another obstacle in the storyline that needs to be worked out. It's fine. Literally the next day, it'll be moving on to the next degree, and we're going to be moving forward. Mercury is really going to start to gain momentum, and things are going to be pushed through. So there may just be some little kink that needs to be worked out. It could literally be, if you have a health issue, that's like a day where you're like, okay, I'm done. I started a cleanse during the new moon, and I feel crappy. It's the days that follow. I really just need to sleep. I feel super low energy. I don't feel very ambitious. Just take it easy. Expect that. I don't want to say expect it. I don't think you should expect anything. But if you have placements or points around 25 to 27 degrees, especially a Virgo or Pisces, somewhat Sag or Gemini, then you might feel that a little bit more harshly than other people. Everybody else might be okay. So anyways, with that said, we do have a couple more important dates that I want to touch on really quickly, and then we're going to disconnect from here. But we've got that Mercury stationing direct on Friday. It will start to move to 9 degrees as the sun opposes Neptune on Tuesday, September 19th. And then it will move through third and final trines, which are amazing aspects when things really start to connect and just everything really seems to be melding nicely. So it'll move through its trine to Jupiter on Monday, September 25th. A trine to Jupiter is great. This is very, very optimistic energy. This is like just having great communications with other people that seem super inspiring and uplifting. It's making you feel really optimistic. It can be understanding big, giant, concepts, or seeing goals, like big picture goals for the future, and being able to bring them down on a small scale, putting the details in order, or understanding the details of big concepts on a smaller scale, and really being able to integrate it and understand it. Can be great for learning. My apologies, my camera just died right in the middle of my sentence. But anyways, just to round this out, you may actually come into contact with someone of a Jupiterian nature, which can be really wise, full of information, really willing to help you and guide you. It's like the teacher archetype. It's somebody that's very, very wise beyond their years, bringing you a lot of opportunity and really uplifting you. So that's very, very positive energy for this storyline. And then after that, on September 30th, this is a big day. This is after the big full moon in Aries on September 29th. So we're really going to touch on this one in the next video that I do on the full moon in Aries. But this is a big day. Mark it in your calendar. September 29th is the full moon. And then September 30th, the moon starts to, the full moon energy starts to subside. But it's still one day after, so it's still probably going to be very intense. But Mercury direct will move through its final trine to Uranus on Saturday, September 30th, which is great. This can be a very big breakthrough moment. This can be unexpected conversations that are very harmonious, that open up doorways for whatever it is that you've been trying to move forward towards. This can be awesome. I love this Mercury trine to Uranus. It's also when Venus will be in a square with Uranus. So at the same time, there could be some sort of obstacle that's unexpected out of the blue. If you look back to other dates when Venus was in a square to Uranus, which I talked about in my Venus retrograde live stream that I just did a couple days ago. So if you want to go ahead and watch that, look under my live videos on my page. And you can look back at those dates. I want to say it was August 22nd. I could be wrong about that. That was an important day, August 22nd. And then July 2nd, I think, was the first square to Uranus that Venus made. So we could be experiencing some sort of shakeup that has to do with relationships, money, our values, our self-worth, and whatever areas of our chart Venus rules. And then maybe with that trine from Mercury to Uranus, that's like a mitigating influence where we are able to talk it through. We are still able to find solutions and find a way out and strategize. And there could be somebody that's helping us on the other side to really navigate the situation, whatever it might be. So there are a lot of positives with this as well. And then on that day, September 30th, Mercury also leaves its shadow and it starts entering new territory. So a lot of these things have worked themselves out. Mercury has gained momentum. A lot of us might be starting new things, new endeavors, and really starting to spin our wheels as it pertains to all of that. So I really like this energy. I don't think that it is a terrible lunation. I do think there are some idiosyncrasies to it, and that's okay. We just have to be able to kind of work with some of the nervous tension that we might be experiencing. It can bring the energy of being very overly critical or having people be very overly critical of you. So just kind of roll with the punches. Know that everybody is under this influence and experiencing the same energy. Try to be a little bit more forgiving. Know that people are going through major transitions and changes. There's a lot of confusion in the air. There's a lot of pivots that are happening in a lot of people's lives. So if we can just be a little bit more understanding of that and send our love out to everybody, I think that it'll be really helpful. But anyways, I'm really curious to hear your stories and kind of what's going on with you guys. Wishing you all the best navigating this. I hope that this information was helpful for you. And yeah, we are almost through this retrograde period, you guys. So we're getting there. Hang in there. I know it's not easy as we hit October. On October 7th, Venus then stations direct, and then we enter eclipse season. And we have a whole new can of worms to open up because these are going to be some really powerful eclipses as usual. And we're going to have some major markers in our books of life to mark new chapters and check off boxes of things that we've accomplished. So There's always more to talk about here in the astrology world, and we are forever grateful having this divine language of the heavens to help us navigate our lives. But anyways, again, hoping this was helpful for all of you. If it was, please help a girl out. Tap that like button below. Please leave me a comment. I want to hear from you guys. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.